Good stuff. Let's get you straight into the action. The first is this rating 82. Over the 1,400 metres, where Hartley, $4, 460. Hypnos head this with Honor Noir at 480 and 175. It's an even market, Stephen.
And that's representing in the turnover 2.8, and there's 4 or 5 they're willing to back, including the favourite number 3 in Hartley at $4 off a short of 3.8. Hypnos, interesting runner. Would have anticipated a little bit more money. The James Wellwood galloper after the back of that fifth when it resumed at Counties has been drifted 420 out to 460. Honor Noir is an interesting runner after competing open handicap conditions in the Bulls Country Cup. Opened at $5.50. We accepted a $2,000 bet at 5.5 to get its price down to $4.80. And also Marlow back. We've already spoken about the Robbie Patterson team. They're flying at the minute. Blinkers go on, stepping up in grade. Jonathan Parks does the riding. A nice little formula around this interesting runner, 14 into 8.50. But a horse or a race with many well spread.
Interesting to see Beefeater starting in this rather than race 2 with Joshua Cam bringing the weight down to 60 kilograms. Marlow Bick likely goes to the top and what looks to be a really good race to start the program, Bevan.
Yeah, I thought Marlow Bick would probably get the trail here, Aiden, from either one of the 3 outside him coming across. But I saw this as a race with very, very good speed. So I went with the horse, I know not quite in its best of form, in Hypnos. Now, the drift in the market is a little bit concerning to me, but I actually really like what I saw from this horse fresh up. Clearly this horse went over to Australia on the back of what was a very good 3-year-old preparation. Vinnie Colgan sat back here on this occasion. It's a race won by Rapisa Rapoda, so they were much more forward in the run here. You see the white fluffies, that'll come out and win. Hypnos, I think, just blew out the last 200. I thought it was running into it beautifully at this stage, and then just the last 150, 200 metres, the horse came to the end of it after sitting well back. But I think this experience will do this horse a lot of good after just flying to pieces at times through the back end of its 3-year-old preparation. I've got a lot of time for this horse, and I think it will make into very serious sort of grade. So I'm going with it, but this is a very honest and even field. Here's Hartley and Honor Noir in good company last time, behind the very good Rock On Wood. Now, I'm going to try and find out today exactly where Rock On Wood goes, maybe here next week, and then plotting that path towards the Thorndon. But Hartley, the big horse, you see him in the centre, and Honor Noir, who was on speed, just keeping on digging, but Rock On Wood, he picked them up and got there so quickly this day. And then you see the Group 1 winner come out of the pack and chase at him, but he had them covered. So those two look very, very good. And Satulagi, this horse has been exceptional the last couple of starts. The start has been everything though. He got back on this occasion in behind Evelina, and Darryl didn't do a lot on him until late in this race. You see him sitting there. I spoke to the team afterwards. The report was that he was hanging, so he couldn't really let down, but sectionally he is very, very good, and the run prior at Ellerslie was just outstanding. Lisa Allpress goes on today, and that's a big key because she will more than likely get this horse out of the gates. The gate is a little bit tricky from that middling sort of draw, but look, I'm going to sit with Hypnos because I see a lot of good tempo in this race, Aiden, and I think he's the sort of horse that can get across the top of this field. Satulagi in for second, Hartley's going nicely, and Honor Noir, so I'm not far outside the favourites, 4, 6, 3 and 7, and a very even betting race and good quality rating 82 over the 1,400 metres.
Yeah, it should be competitive, that's for sure. On to the second, the open sprint there. Brokerware Brisk Services 1,200. Beefeater, obviously out of this to race in the first. Mr. Universe 195 and 108. Stephen, your best at Awapuni back runner, isn't it?
Clearly, Aidan. I mentioned $2 at the top of the show and potential to start in the red. What's already in the red at $1.95, and why not stop there? Potentially $1.90 as we get closer to race start time, just a tick after 1 o'clock. So he remains the best back runner the entire by smart miss on Mr. Universe. And if he does a job on this particular race, Aidan, he's at $41 for the railway. He could potentially slide in that particular race and have another runner for the Rogerson team. But as it stands, $1.95 accounts for 65% of total turnover. Rockin' Affair on the back of a Levin Stakes third. Trial in between times, 260 out to 270. What a Smasher, 6 out to 6.5. Stradivarius, 850 out to 9. Island Bay maybe setting it up for the stablemate. Looks to be the clear leader, drawn 2, 12. It's priced there. So, no, all the talking points is around Mr. Universe number 6.
Yeah, it will be a tactical race, so Bevan, just the 5 runners. It'll be just interesting to see how they run this.
Absolutely, because I saw Island Bay, What a Smasher, lead, an outside lead, and Mr. Universe probably getting 2 spots further back, so he's going to be standing them a bit of a start here. Look, if he's close enough, he wins. But I just don't like these races when they're small 1200 metre events with a couple of leaders who'll sit, canter. And we saw at Hawke's Bay on Wednesday that if you got to that leading position, you were home. So it will be tactically run. I think he's a good horse though, isn't he? The Empire by a smart missile. Ryan's in the saddle. He's riding nicely at the present moment, as we saw at Ellerslie the other night. So he's on top. Rockin' Affair has the tactical advantage though. This horse can run a good 600 metres off a forward position, as we saw Fresh Up beating home Salamanca. So I'm not going to say no, but it will have to run up to its best to beat Mr. Universe. 7 what a smasher, and then Island Bay in the mix, but just $1.95. The punters are probably right on the mark, but for me, in these small 1200 metre events with a horse going to get back against a couple of quick ones in front, it's not a price I'm willing to take, but he is the top selection for sure.
Okay, on to the third. This one, the McDonald's Manawa 2 at 1200. Stephen, we've got Fiano at 3 and 135 as favourite.
Been a well-backed commodity right throughout this campaign, Fiano. Didn't let punters down. It was a very good run last start from a wide gate. It has to contest a barrier 11 here with Holly Andrew doing the riding. Probably holds its price at $3. If it drawn a gate, it might have started closer to $2.70, $2.80. But with that barrier 11, $3 sound at the moment. Challa, $4.50 out to $4.80. Ouzul, interesting runner. Jonathan Parks does the riding here. Soft trial at $5. And Kapanos, the other one I should mention, 6 into $5.50. But overall, they're pretty keen to reinvest again on Fiano, even though it was a beaten favourite last start.
Yeah, it was terrific. 2 starts back and clearing maidens by a margin, then very good at Wanganui last time out. Where does it get to in the map? From the wide draw, though, might be a little bit cold with Charlie going forward. Let's take you to that Wanganui run, Bevan, and the run very good for second. Kapanos finishes third and One to Know More into ninth in this, but geez, he looks progressive. She looks progressive, doesn't she?
Well, she is hard to map because 2 starts ago at Awapuni, I haven't seen a horse come out of the gates that quickly here for the last 6 months or so. It led up and it just won by a margin. Was drawn a similar gate here at the River City. It missed away and was a distant ninth early in the run, but did make up really, really good ground late in this particular race. So very progressive. The air covers go on today because she can keep very, very warm. The chestnut mare by Pur and Kento, but she's progressive. But I do like one here today. It is Ouzul. If Ouzul is back at his best, I have spoken to Mike Breslin, and he believes that this horse has come out really, really nicely. He is a very smart horse, and he brings the best form lines into this race at his best. So he's only the winner of 2 of 12. When he's won, he's been exceptional. Look, he's always been a lightly framed horse who never holds any real condition, and maybe this is his preparation. So he's on top over Fiano. I don't have a lot between the two of them. I think they're a very good quinella in race number 3. Kapanos was very good at Wanganui in the same showboat race after sitting handy and showing a really good kick. And Oh for Awesome is a horse with Tamai claiming 4 off for Alan Sherrick. I thought due a bit of respect, but I am keen the 2 and the 6 here, 8 in race number 3.
Okay, on to the fourth. It's a Dunstan Feeds qualifying. Jeez, I'd be surprised if we got a Dunstan Feeds final winner out of this race. I thought it was a race that lacked depth. Proletaria at 280 and 138, all in stitches at 550. It must have been a tough race to put together as a market, Stephen.
Yeah, punters suggesting we got it wrong with the opening line of Proletaria. Opened at $3.30, first time over ground last start, and did the job for a horse that pushed forward. And I think they'll do the same from barrier 10, Jonathan Parks. He can be aggressive out of the barriers, we know that. And now trading at 2.8, so clearly the best lead here, and what we thought was slightly a bit touch open than what customers thought. All in Stitches is probably the only other runner we should mention, 480 out to 550. And maybe Vermont specking with the Howie Matthews team now, transferring from the north, well specced at $7.
Yeah, All in Stitches was good last time out, so was Proletariat. I guess they're the main form lines into this, and Proletariat maybe could push forward from a wider escape, Bevan.
Yeah, I think he'll be right there or thereabouts, Aiden Proletariat, if not leading. He was very good. He's still green. He could go up and be a challenger, Aiden, this horse in the Dunstan. I don't think there's any doubt about that. He's a big, big, strong horse. He's won this race. He stays in 65, so therefore he has to carry the 60s. He still has no clue, really, this horse. And he's a tough ride, and unfortunately Charlotte got suspended post that, but he just kept on rolling. Don't Know Jack's come out and won really good at Trentham at its next start over the 2400 metres, so it's a really good effort. He's my best bet on the program, this horse. His gate's a little bit tricky, but I think he'll keep rolling. whether he, as you mentioned, can go up to the Dunstan, but I think he'll be a good horse to be in the mix there. 7 Vittoria Aldo is the challenger for mine. Look, he takes a while to come to it. I thought he was better last time. Overground is his go, so I'm with him for second. And outside of that, I thought Platinum Spirit and Savannah Gem was ridden absolutely crazily last time. Tony Allen picks up the ride here this afternoon. If they just settle this horse on speed without taking off before nominations, then I think it can run some sort of race. But yeah, my best bet on the program is Proletariat for Ashley Meadows.
Isn't it great to see Tony back here riding as well? He's got a couple of rides. He's on Savannah Gem in the 4th and Real Beach in the 8th of the card there at Awapuni. Race 5 is the Central House Movers handicap over the 2,000 metres. Joint favourites Bowden and Beyond the Fort. Geez, this will be an interesting run race because I'm sure Bowden, Peso, speed influences, and Beyond the Fort looks really promising, Stephen. I'd be interested to see what punters have found here.
Your key talking point probably around the top 2 and Bowden Beyond the Fort. Beyond the Fort open favourite, Aiden at $2.90. Got as short as $2.60. Just eased back out to $2.70. And Bowden opened that second line of betting at $3.20. Now trading $2.70 each of 2 with Beyond the Fort. And they match dollar for dollar. And wouldn't be surprised if Bowden actually started favourite around the multis that are running through either horse. And be interesting to see how this horse operates at 2,000 metres. Bowden, possibly a Zabeel Classic at weight for age, holds an account for Bowden as we progress towards the new year period. Peso $4.20 into $3.70, not friendless. Horse that, like you mentioned, Aiden will go forward. Artis, also well spec'd, $8.50 into $7.50. Outside that, the rest of the field have been notable drifters. But the key talking point has been around Bowden, who now shares that top line with Beyond the Fort.
Bevan, this is a cracking race. We've got a lot of promise coming through. The likes of Beyond the Fort, we know what Peso is capable of, and Bowden looks a promising stayer as well. Really looking forward to this one.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Bowden, have been for a long period of time. He can be a little bit erratic, but even with those erratic tendencies, the horse keeps on running races. I think he'll lead, as you see from that speed map. Peso is more than likely going to come across and sit on the outside. I think this is a real preparation race for Peso to go into the Cup Day. So I'm going to go with Bowden. I think he's very, very smart, this horse. Everything he's shown me is that he's tough. He's not quite there mentally, but even as a 5-year-old, he's got tendencies that should see him get beat by a margin, but he just doesn't. So I'm with him. Beyond the Fort, when it was against Patton at Waverley, wasn't it? It got well back in that race. Came to them around about the 800 metre mark, ran on nicely. Very talented staying horse. Peso, Group 1 quality, and outside of that, with the scratching of Collins Street, Artis for Lisa, all press in the Baker and Forsman team third up this preparation. But you know, I've always been a fan. He's won 4 of 6 here, Aiden, and not many horses can do that.
Absolutely. There'll be cup winners coming out of this race, I'm sure, later on this season. On to race 7, and we have a look here at the feature, the Group 3 Lawnmaster Eulogy Stakes. Alaloon at $2.80 and $1.25, $4.20 About Showbill, $4 Belle Plaisir and Lillicoy at $4.80 and $1.55. Stephen, Alaloon at the top, but how's she attracting money? Is it just being fair?
Well, she's clearly the best backed Aiden, Alaloon. Probably accounts for around about 35-40% turnover, Alaloon. I think she's found that price at $2.80. She's drifted from $2.70. There's a possibility she could go back to that opening line of $2.70, but pretty happy to trade at $2.80. Belle Plaisir's got potential to drift off that $4 price. Started at $3.90, just out of turn to $4. Wouldn't be surprised if it started closer to $5 via the $4 trading. Showbill, who looks to be a horse that will really progress over staying trips in 1,600 metres. I think they'll look to go forward and make it a staying event over the 16 Showbill with Lisa Allpress at $4.20. And Lillicoy's been that market mover in the middle market, $7 into $4.80. Still could have got $5.50 early stages this morning, with the likes of Manchu, $7.50 out and $9.5 have been the other way. So the big talking point, Alaloon at 2.8, but I think it's pretty much found its mark at that $2.70, $2.80 trading quote.
I thought it was still value. I've got to say, Showbill a likely leader in the race here, with Manchu pressing forward as well. But Bevan, you only have to think back to the Group 1 Manawa 2 Size Produce Stakes and what she did that day on this track. She was brilliant last time out. I thought she was clearly the horse to beat, Alaloon.
Agree. I do agree. I've always been a big fan from the first couple of runs we saw her. Look, this is her maiden win. Look, it's taken a while to get her back after they took her to Hastings and really pushed a button on her, and obviously that took a little bit of a toll. So it's taken a while to get her back. She's still green. Doesn't quite know how to get on that right lead leg and go straight, but she's dominant late. In the last 50 metres is the best of this performance, and look, she run 1:35.5, so she could have gone quicker. She's a quality animal, this, the Filly Boy Reliable Man. She's on top. Over Belle Plaisir, the run I go on from this horse is 3 back at Hastings on the dead 4 on the 5th of October behind Swords Drawn. This is the last start performance, which was just a preparation run for today, but it was an excellent run at Hastings, spent in 3.5 behind Swords Drawn and making really good ground over 1,400 metres. I've just got lost for a bit of zip-zap at around about the 300 metre mark here, Belle Plaisir, but I love the way it ran home, 1,600 metres today. That'll suit it right down to the ground. Motivation to its inside is a smart horse for Johnny Barry. So I went 2 to beat 1. Lilikoi, I didn't know what to make the last 100 metres of its most recent performance here at Awapuni. I thought it had every chance to win that race. Free to Shine's a nice horse though, so it's got good recommend, and Manchu on the back of what it's done the last couple of starts. But I'm keen the 2-1 here, Aiden, and very keen A La Lune. She deserves a black type victory off that maiden win. She's been quality and deserves to be favourite in this eulogy.
Yep, I agree. On to the last Bevan rating 72. This one, the Capture Science Dunstan Feeds 1,500 qualifier, where the buzz at $5 and $2. Credit Manager $5.50 was good last time out. $7 Scale Lowy. Just that tricky barrier draw $7.50. The Ripper here in the last. Stephen, Money League.
Hard to give one at this stage, Aidan. It's a fantastic betting race, as the last is at Te Rapa. The buzz at $5, even Field drawing the ace from the north. I believe this will hold the highest amount of turnover dollars-wise, the buzz. But as it stands, pretty happy to trade at $5 in front of the last start winner and Credit Manager, $6.50 into $5.50. So slight move around that particular runner. Shaloli at $5.50 has gone the other way up to $7. Gerda's well supported, $6.50, even though it's drifted to $7, just to get that overall percentage down. A couple they are speccing in the race, one of them being One Prize, One Goal, open at $26, now trading at $18. So overall, I think the buzz will be one of the horses that will be praying does not win come the last race of the day, but currently to trade happy at $5.
Yeah, it's a good race, this for sure. The horses like Scale Lowy and Gerda, they're going to have to come from a fair way back here, you'd think, Bevan, but both have shown any amount of ability so far.
Yeah, look, I thought this race is probably against that speed map. I saw plenty of speed here. Spondulix, Sugar Rush going forward. Sia Prince is definitely going to be heading forward. So I thought they'd go nicely in this particular race. I really do like one here in Gerda. I really was impressed with the last start performance. It's tough here at Awapuni to come from where this horse will have to be, but its fresh up run here at Awapuni was also very good behind Portland Jimmy, who's a quality animal. So I like the each way about it. Outside of that, the buzz, yep, it was a very good performance and good company last time, no doubt about that. Scarlowy, just wonder if he needs a little bit of dig out of the track. He's on good 3-track conditions, and he probably doesn't quite show that turn of foot he's got when they're in that dead 6 into that slow range, but he's a good quality horse who'll be in the race. And outside of that, my old fan, there's something about the Ripper today. He's third up this preparation. He'll be at an each way quote as well, the Ripper, for Lisa Latta and Ryan Elliott. So what's the strategy for today? $100 to spend. Look, my best is Proletariat. Got a lot of time for Hakiko Blanco on its last 3 runs. I'm going to have 20 to 1 on Ozil. I'm going to have 40 to 1 Proletariat, 20 on Hakiko Blanco, and 20 to 1 on Gerda. $100 spent. Best of luck with that. Our first on the program here, A-Rod, 12.35, and at the moment, Honor Noir's taken over tote favouritism from Satu Lagi.